What is up, Doug?
Hello, TT. How are you?
I think I finally recovered. Actually, not really. I slept 5 hours today,
That's not it. That's not it, my friend.
and then over the weekend, like all those group messages, I would wake up and be like, "Oh my god, how long did I sleep?"
I was truly hoping that you'd remember your little incident on FaceTime, but you didn't. But you didn't, so
I
that's okay.
was.
That's okay.
I remember FaceTiming you guys. Like I truly remember. I was like
Yeah.
trying to get a hold of everyone. I was like trashing he who shall not be named because he wouldn't
Oh
answer my
yeah. No,
FaceTime.
no. Oh yeah.
But in reality, he knew what was coming. Um, you did
Yeah.
not, and
Yeah. No, I had no idea what was gonna happen there, and yeah. Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
Vegas got me.
Yeah, it did.
Dude, we were
Yeah, it did.
so it was it was like Thursday night or whatever, and
Yeah.
it was like our last night, basically like our last day of conferences and work meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Also, pause. Your stream's not on, just so you know.
no, I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
I just
Make sure you knew. Make sure you knew.
I hit the record button because you don't have to stream. You can just hit record and just record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
anywho, it was like our last day, and I was maybe down like $100 at this point.
Yeah.
And the guy that I work with legit has his own craps table, like at his house, and he practiced craps.
I mean,
like rolling the dice, like setting the dice up. So
sometimes I think we have a problem, but that is a real problem.
yeah, no, but it's not a problem when you're at the same table.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. All right. It's fair.
So we're playing, and he must have rolled. I kid you not, probably like a half hour on the same dice, just rolling. We're just getting drinks. We ended up going.
Drinks,
we ended up winning like 200. So at this point, I'm up 100.
Yeah.
So we took a little break. We got dinner, and it was at that point where the nuke went off, and everything. Yeah.
So was this actually the? Was this the night that I was sexually assaulted via Vegas?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
Yeah, vibes were high. The drinks were flowing. The money was being won. Tom, shout out you if you're watching this. The guy at the craps table that had the little stick and like pushing the dice.
The little stick.
My guy. Love you, Tom.
Had the little stick.
Love you, Tom.
Oh boy. I got to see a little stick too. It's fine.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
No, I have not.
Wow, don't go.
I've been told a couple of my buddies have said like Vegas is like my spirit animal, and they're like, dude, you would thrive, and I'm like, I'll never go. Like I can't do that.
So I've gone 3 times now, 2 times for a work conference and 1 time with my buddy when I was like 22, 23 or something like that.
Yeah.
That might have been the worst trip of my life. First experience with the topless, Sapphire Steakhouse.
Right, yeah.
Not a steakhouse.
I don't know what that is, but
it is not a steakhouse.
It is not a steakhouse.
It might be a steakhouse by name, and it might have steak, but
it is not actually what the name implies.
I will let you know that I woke up the next day after that with a receipt for like $700.
Barf.
Yeah, second night in Vegas. Welcome.
Barf.
Welcome.
Welcome to Vegas. Good luck.
But I learned. You live and you learn.
That's true. We're both very good at doing that.
Yeah, they really know how to take advantage of a young guy with a debit card.
That doesn't have any real responsibility in life yet.
Oh my god, I kid you not. $700, and I tipped the bouncers like $20. I'm surprised I didn't get like literally roughed up that night.
Fuck yeah.
Because that's maybe like 2%, if that. Yeah, right. Not the best. Anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
But I love there's this the casino. So like there's like 2 ends of the strip. And where my work conference is on like down towards like the MGM, the Luxor, New York. New York is by far my favorite casino of all time.
Okay. Positive.
If you ever go, New York.
New York is the place. Like
$10, $15 table. Love it.
Oh yeah.
Good restaurants. Good time.
See, if I go to a casino, like the only thing I do is I pull out like $500 and like put it on black. And if I win, sweet. If I lose, I'm done. So that's the only thing I've ever done at a casino. Because I know the house is generally in favor. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna do one bet and just go for that.
Yeah, this guy, I swear he was counting. And who counts at a $10 table? But anyway, homie walks up. I felt him like behind me for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And there was a seat open next to me, and it was me, an empty seat, and then these like 4 guys that like, it was Friday, so it looked like they had just shown up. Like they threw a bunch of money on the table and they were just hanging out having fun.
Right.
And we're winning, whatever. This guy sits down, puts $100 on the table. We're playing blackjack. Puts $100, bets 100, wins the hand. So now he's up 100. Throws all 200, hits it again. Throws all 400, hits again. I'm like,
I'd walk away.
I'm like,
at that point, I'm walking away. I'm like, I am out.
What is happening right now?
Later.
I'm like, what is happening? And this guy's like just steaming with confidence. Like, I ain't losing this. Like, I'd be stressed. I would be like, just stressed beyond belief with that much money on the table after winning that much. Next thing you know, here comes the pit boss, walks over and is like watching. And I'm like, okay, this is now making sense.
Now
this is now making sense. And then it seemed like, so at first it seemed like something was weird, but then all of a sudden he out of the 400, I think he pocketed 2 and then put another 200 down, lost that, put more cash on the table, and then lost that. I was like, yeah, have a good day, bud.
See ya.
You were just up like $700 and now you're down to nothing.
Oh, if I go up that much money, I am walking the fuck out. It's like see ya. Incredible. I'm out. Later.
But like, overall, like we had one really fun night, as you know.
I know.
Glad to be back. Caught up on some sleep. Got to watch some COD over the weekend on like Sunday because my flight was delayed like 4 different times on Friday. So I get to watch some COD.
I do remember that text that said my flight's delayed 5 hours or whatever, and you were just like, kill me. I was like, well.
So it wasn't the fact that the flight got delayed. Like that was enough to kind of piss me off. But it was the fact that there was a snowstorm in New Jersey on Saturday. So my original flight was going to get me to the airport and home before a drop of snow fell from the sky. Because of this delay, I am driving on the New Jersey Turnpike with it's a 6-lane highway, and I'm like petrified. I'm in a little Nissan Sentra. What should have taken me an hour and a half took me 3 hours.
White knuckling it.
Dude, I am just like, and I'm tired, like flight home. I'm just beyond exhausted and I can't see in front of me and people are just flying past me. Like I'm going 35 because I'm just like, if I crash this company car at 5 o'clock in the morning, like no one's coming to help me. Like,
no, you're like, I'm fucked. I'm stranded here I'm stranded here until Megan comes gets me.
I'm just praying because I'm like, I'm fine. Like I'm in my own little lane. Like I'm following every time a truck got in front of me. I would just kind of like get in his tracks and kind of just chill.
Oh yeah.
But dude, then you would get some guy and I swear it's the same car every time. A fucking Altima. Altima would just fly.
I was going to get different.
Just fly past me. Like I get it. You got like some guys got like the trucks and stuff like that. You got 4-wheel drive. Like that's fine. Like do your thing. But a little like it's always a fucking Altima. Every time some asshole in a tinted out Altima. What was the car you were gonna say?
No, I was gonna say like a fucking Dodge Neon. Dude, I'm telling you, I don't know.
The little 2 doors, right?
Yeah, dude, those things are fucking. Dude, you see, they're like little piss missiles, and like you have fucking psychos driving them. Probably crackheads, to be honest. But like, dude, ugh.
It was like the worst timing because there wasn't and I'm just driving by plow truck after plow truck, and I'm like, cool. I guess you're probably sleeping right now because they can't go out unless it's like what, like 2 inches on the road or something like that. So that was my week. That's why we didn't have a podcast, but we're back. We're here.
The week before it was actually my fuck up. My computer decided to blow up. That was tight.
Oh, I forgot. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been 2 because I joined that Discord call with you, and then I thought there was like something knocking on my wall. I'm like, what the hell is that? Then all of a sudden I smell fire. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And then
how long did it take you to figure out the power supply?
So I figured out it was the power supply almost immediately because it was smoking like from my computer. That's like that.
Where there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I can deduce that that's the problem. So I ordered one. I had it shipped to me within 2 days, and then I think I was keeping you updated on Snapchat of like how I was actually putting it in.
Yeah,
like,
you were tilted.
I was very tilted because like I had it in.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I have everything. Like I went through the whole manual and everything. I had it all hooked up, and then my screen turned on. I was like, oh yeah, we're booting up, and then like it was just black screen for an hour. I'm like, no.
And if you don't put one cord in the right spot,
specific cord, yeah. So I figured that out. Dead. I literally, it's the cord looked exact same, but I fucking switched their spots. Like it was literally like it was like 1A 1B, and I just switched them and it worked. I was like, oh, well, this is stupid, but okay.
I remember it took me like when I was building my PC, it took me, Kaz, Sam, and Adam. Adam finally helped solve the problem, but it was my HDMI cord wasn't in my GPU. It was in like the motherboard.
Oh.
Okay.
Attaboy.
So you're telling me I got everything besides that? Okay, I'll take that.
You're like, that's a win. That's a win for me.
That's a win. It did take me. It took me like 2 days to like put everything together. Because I put it together once, and then like the cords were all over the place. I was like, I'm gonna stress out.
Oh yeah, I like took my whole PC apart. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind here. Yeah. So, because I'm like a very big like instant gratification guy. Like, if it's not done within 5 minutes, I am just fucking livid.
Yeah, you're just Donkey Kong fists, like just.
Yeah, I'm like ready to fucking throw hands at anything in front of me. So, yeah. I've, as you can tell, I have zero patience for things. So, but such is life, man.
Yeah. Well, we had a kind of boring weekend of COD, to be honest. A lot of 3-0s again, a lot of 3-1s.
Yeah, not really anything
Toronto
exciting.
Is still them.
And Scrap is still a cheater. So,
dude, that guy just shits on everyone.
And
he has no shame. Like, the game's over. And I think so it was Eric Boom's first game in the CDL.
Yeah.
He was basically like, welcome to the league, bud.
Welcome to the league, bud. You're garbage. Like,
oh my God.
Like, chill out, man.
Dude, they just got slammed.
I think Scrap on Twitter is really funny too. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, but he's really funny on Twitter. Again, he's a cheater, but he's funny at least.
I don't follow him specifically on Twitter. I guess I see his tweets when they're like retweeted when he says some reckless shit like after a game or something.
Yeah.
But he's from New Jersey. That guy's just this is his game though. Like,
does he embody New Jersey though? Like,
pretty much. Like he's from North Jersey. Like he's. Is
there a difference between North Jersey and like South Jersey? Is that a thing?
Yeah. So in my opinion, once you get past Trenton, you are now in New York.
Oh, okay.
So it's South New York.
South New York.
And then
North Jersey
actual
is South
Jersey,
New York?
like New Jersey, is below Trenton.
Okay.
Two completely different types of people.
Ohio is just the whole thing is bad. So all of us are garbage.
Side note, I told Megan, I was like, hey, so this summer I'm going out to Ohio. And she was like, why?
Why?
I was like, what do you mean why? I was like, a couple of the guys like live out there. I was like, I might either fly or like drive out there. And she was like, have you ever been to Ohio?
Yeah, have you ever been? You shouldn't.
I was like, no, like why? Why would I go to Ohio? And she was like, Ohio is awful.
Yeah, it's so a lot of people make it seem like it's the worst place that's ever been. Around. It's not so bad, but it's also like there's nothing remarkably cool about this place. Like,
are you guys closer? Like, you guys are close to like north, right? Like closer to Detroit.
Yeah. So we're 10 minutes from the line, so it's not like it's crazy, but
yeah, you guys are like country living in like the middle of the state with.
No, with surrounded by cornfields. No, we're not that.
Nah.
I remember we went to a soccer tournament one time. I think Kyle was with us, and we ended up getting lost. And like we were in, like it said, like you've arrived at your destination, and like we're literally in the middle of 4 cornfields. I'm like, well, this isn't it. So we had one of our buddies walk up to some guy's house, like, hey, like, can you tell us where this field is? And the guy comes out with a gun, and like, just like, and like you could tell this guy like just didn't have any good motives in his life. So we're like, Lucas, just don't die. Like, just come back to the car, and we'll figure this out later. It's not a big deal. It was fun. It was a good time. But that's Ohio for you.
Okay. So, but back to CL.
Yeah.
Fuck our brains.
We're so good at getting off topic of shit. It's so good.
How do we get here?
CDL.
But dude, I don't know what's up with FaZe. Like, I feel like they should be so much better than what they're a great team.
But like they're not performing what we think they should be.
Right.
They're kind of like the last year's New York Yankees. Like you just think like, dude, this team should be blowing people out of the water.
Right.
And they're not. So it's like, what's going on here? What's the actual problem?
And here's the thing, like they can't blame Draza. Like it's always been like whoever that fourth guy is the fall guy, whether it was Arcides, whether it was Slasher, like it was always the fourth guy's fault. It is not that way this year.
Yeah, you can't put it on him. Cannot put it on him.
The guy's grinding, the guy's playing extremely well. Like Celium's kind of here and there. I think it's just tough for Simp and Abeezy to kind of really get their groove going in such a heavy AR game.
Yeah. Say if you're a sub playing this game, it's just kind of like you kind of get a groove for like a game or two, and then it's like, well, I'm not gonna have it forever.
Right, and then you hop into Invasion and you get slammed.
Yeah, where you like if you run a sub, just like chalk it. Like, well, I'm going -15 and fucking hopefully I'll be your hill bitch this game.
Well, the hope I heard is that new map Vista will replace Invasion once this stage is over.
Yeah.
Which would be ideal because I play Invasion Hardpoint and I just want to throw my controller against the wall because of the spawns.
Honestly, I don't like to play Invasion on any game mode, so
Search is kind of bad too. But like Hardpoint is like unplayable. I don't know why we're still playing Terminal S&D.
Okay, hot take here. I love Terminal S&D. So,
well, everyone knows my strat. So,
yeah, no one knows my strat because I don't know my strat. So,
we load in and it's all right, boys. We're hitting the plane 4 stack.
Yeah, like no one knows what I'm doing because I don't know.
4 hitting plane.
So, that's like it's your favorite thing of all time. Like, all right, guys, we're just slamming A. Okay. You just every time you play someone in the WGL, you just expect the one round that TT's gonna say, "Hey, slam A."
Yeah, we're hitting it.
You guys get wiped.
This is the round. We're hitting the plane.
Yeah. So.
Were you playing with us last? Did you play with us with Kyle?
Yeah. Yeah, it was you, me, and Kyle.
Oh my god, Kyle was hyping me up, and I was doing some dumb shit.
Yeah. Well, as per usual, you were doing dumb shit.
Oh man. Dude, I'm excited for our matches this week. We get 2 this week. We play Don's team, which is the worst team in the league, and then we play
How are you gonna call Don's team the worst team in the league?
They're the worst team in the league.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Don's on that team. They're not the worst team in the league.
It is the sad truth that they are the worst team in the league.
Nah, I refuse to believe it.
Who's worse than them?
I truly think it's Enzo's team.
Okay. Kaz had a crazy game tonight and then just cooled off. Like we
said before the season started, we said Kaz is one of those guys like he's either gonna pop off or you're not gonna see him. Or you're not gonna even know he's playing. We were right. Like and, and it's not like no hate on Kaz, but like it's just what it is.
Yeah.
And so today was just pop off day. But like you can't expect that consistency out of him.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and then Ferg. Love Ferg.
Dude, Ferg's the GOAT.
Love Ferg.
I can't spell his name, but he's the GOAT.
Not bad on Search though. He had a couple key moments there to kind of say like playing his life, getting info.
Yeah, he's doing his thing.
Enzo was popping off.
So shout out to Bubble Boys being 3-0. Nobody's talking about it.
3-0?
They should be. Yeah. 2-0. 2-0.
I was gonna say you guys aren't 3-0. You're 2-0.
I think we're 2-0. We're 2-0.
But
3-0 we play. I don't remember. I don't remember because it doesn't matter. We're gonna win.
Probably
anyway.
Mystery or Drew.
Yeah, we play Costco Avengers, whoever that is.
Drew.
Yeah, cool. So 3-0.
Yeah, and they're undefeated. Oh wow, 2 undefeated teams. When's that game?
Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Wednesday. That would be telling.
Watch me hop the fuck off, baby.
That would be a telling game. I think we played Don's team first.
We're putting the world on notice that we're coming for that shit, boy.
I want to see Todd have like just like a legacy week this week. Like I just want to see him have back-to-back bangers where I don't have to do anything.
I love Todd. I hate your guys' team, but I love Todd. Because I hate you and Kyle.
so like the fact that they keep allowing us to be on the same team is
toxic. Kyle was by far the best captain of all time, though. Just in general, he's a great captain in all things. So
if we had to redraft, like let's just call it what it is. If Kyle takes Wavy,
good night, babe.
If Kyle takes Wavy instead of Todd, just putting it out there, and then the rest of the draft goes exactly the same, holy shit.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Wavy's good, but
Wavy's gross.
I think you can have I think you can see. So Kyle likes people that he can control, right? Like he wants to make sure. Like so, I was his first round pick in MW2.
Right.
Why? Because he could literally tell me exactly what to do, and he knows Doug will do exactly what I tell him to do. So, and I was like, yeah, I'm in. Like
I love how Rabs has grown from that.
Rabs just, dude, what do you mean grown from it? Rabs didn't do it last year.
No, but like look at what he's doing this year with his team's playing very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Rabs' team is like, I shouldn't say the problem with his team, but like if Rabs doesn't play well, so we saw it tonight. Rabs had a couple games where he did not do so hot and they were losing.
Yeah.
So like if Rabs plays not great, that team is kind of in trouble. So you can say that pretty much about any team, but I think it's more so. I think it's amplified with that team specifically.
Yeah.
If Rabs doesn't play well or Genesis doesn't play well, that team is in a lot of trouble.
They were in trouble with Rio no matter what because they all play AR. Like that whole team is just 4 ARs, and then Enzo is a very good sub, and Kaz can play sub very well. So if
Kaz has one of his little pop off games, like he's just gonna
like if he gets in a groove and starts feeling himself a little bit. But yeah, Don's team is screwed. They're done.
Stop it, dude. I don't like the Don slander right now.
Okay? He might retire before the year ends.
Stop it.
I'm just saying. It's been put out there.
I mean, it's been put out there, but he's just vibe checking people to see what everybody else is thinking. That's it. He ain't retiring. He's vibe checking everybody.
Well, I mean, Ryan's not playing, right?
I played with Ryan today.
Resurgence, though?
No, ranked.
Wow. So he's secretly... he's... Okay, all right.
He's a secret grinder. He doesn't tell anybody. Dude, he snuck in with me in CPUP. We were hiding in League Office, and he snuck in with us.
I'm sad that CPUP's not playing.
CPUP just doesn't have time.
Yeah. He does have time for Rocket League at night, which is great.
Yeah, he does, baby.
Rocket League is just... I don't think I could ever give up playing Rocket League. Like I could probably be like, I'm kind of done with COD.
It's the best game to play, like at night when you're like, man, I just don't feel like caring a whole lot, so I'm just gonna fly around in a car and hit a ball.
Even playing ranked, even playing like the ranked competitive mode in Rocket League isn't stressful.
No, because if you lose, you're like, whatever.
Yeah, but
unless you're Nick,
the losses come few and far in between. I feel like.
Yeah,
like when you and me are playing duos, right? Like we'll play 10 games or something like that. We might lose 2.
Yeah, so we usually win 7 or 8 out of 10.
Like it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I never feel going into one of those games, and maybe 1% of the time, where I'm like, we're gonna get slammed, and this is not we don't even stand a chance. Like.
Yeah, no, I don't get into Rocket League games where I'm like, oh man, like this guy's so much better than me. Until I start seeing him doing like flip resets and shit. I'm like, well, okay, yeah, that guy. But I don't know that going into the game.
I'm sitting there, I'm blitzed last night trying to like play the ball off the wall, and I'm just
you were.
They make it. I was watching the RLCS, like the group stages and stuff like that, dude. They make it look so easy. Like,
so like if you watch that for like an hour, you're sitting like, dude, why can't I do that?
And then you go into like the
training mode, and then you're just like, I don't see how they do that. Like, this is insane.
Dumb. Like, I just, man, oh man. And it's like the levels of that game, like, we're probably, if we grinded, we're probably upper diamond.
If we dedicated our time to Rocket League, we're probably like Diamond 2, Diamond 3, like right. Max. I think
What's
that's
after
where
Diamond?
That's where we live. Champ. Hey. Champs after Diamond, then Grand Champ, then SSL.
Got it.
Yeah, I think we're like upper level Diamond players. Right. If like we truly only played Rocket League,
right?
Took it to like a mildly serious level, but like that's where we would live, and I don't think either of us are ever going to be a champ player. Like that's just and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Hey, Diamond is like a top. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I think
I don't play. Fuck yeah.
I feel like in this season in COD, I might actually hit Diamond because I'm in Plat 2 right now, and I'm still getting like 50 to 60.
Play with me some more, baby. I'll make sure you don't get there.
No, we were playing well last night. We got I got the Plat 2.
Yeah, I've been living at Gold 3, less than 100 SR to get to Platinum for, I don't know, a week now. It's been tight.
It's been tight.
I'm the gatekeeper of Gold 3, baby. If you want to get to Plat, you got to go through me. And I will never let you get there, but I also will not let myself get there. So
it could be worse. You could be Nick and lose SR when you win.
Lose SR when you win. So another thing with Call of Duty that actually pisses me off to no end. So me and Nick were playing a couple days ago. We had probably 10 games, something like that. We have 3 games where our teammate disconnects, and it says the matchmate, like your team will not lose SR for this loss. I'm like, okay, sweet, like whatever, like still try to play it out, whatever. You're gonna get shit stomped, but it's whatever. And we get out of the game and we still lose, 30 SR. It's like, don't tell me I'm not gonna lose anything if you're gonna fucking punish me. Fuck you. Broken. Okay. Activision, figure this out. I would be in Plat if that didn't happen. Maybe. But maybe. But I'm gonna tell myself I would be because I lost 150 SR on that so far, and I'm 100 SR away from Plat. So I mean, I get punished for people being dickheads.
Yeah. That's why you kind of have to like 3-4 stack.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that probably doesn't happen as often.
But see, that's all another problem with Call of Duty. Like if you're not 3 or 4 stacking, you're at a disadvantage. And if you're playing solo, which we've all experienced it, if you're playing solo, your teammates are just going to be god awful. Yeah. And even if you're calming with them,
they've also said that like when you 4 stack, you're going to play another 4 stack.
Yeah.
Which also almost kind of puts you at a disadvantage too, depending on what that other 4 stack looks like.
I mean, I don't know if like playing at a 4 stack is if you're put up against another one, if that's a disadvantage, but
it makes it more sweaty, maybe.
Yeah, I think it makes it more competitive.
Yeah, because you're playing basically like another like whole team.
Yeah,
I would love to play in like a Shotzi lobby just one time, just once.
I would love to watch you because you would go 0-50
just one time.
But I would call it now 0-50.
Okay.
I have all the faith in the world in you in gold, plat, and diamond lobbies. I have 0 faith in you in top 250 lobbies.
I just want to see what it feels like.
And I'm not. That's not any hate. It's not any hate.
Oh no, I know. I would not do well.
I respect your game.
I'm not saying I would go in there and be like, I'm one of them.
One of us. One of us.
Kubo Gobble, one of us. Yeah, those guys are just fucking different.
Dead, built different.
I still think I don't see Toronto getting. Oh, man, this is gonna come off a little weird. I don't see them getting better. Like better.
Like, you think they're already at their peak?
I think they're at the point where their better isn't going to be much. But I think like a team like Optic, FaZe.
See,
I want to put New York in there, but they just are so hit or miss right now. Like,
so the thing with Optic, Phase, even New York is like, so they haven't been meeting their expectations now. So any wins from now is just improvement, right? So that's just them going up.
Right.
So like they're already at a disadvantage. Toronto has just shown this whole year or whole season, I guess you could say so far, that like they're dominant. They are probably the best team in the league right now. So like you're gonna sit there and say anytime they lose, like yes, they're regressing, but like are they regressing? I don't know.
Right.
But it's just because they're so good now. But if like you let these optics and phases kind of figure out as the season goes, you're gonna see that they're going to improve, and they're gonna, because I think by the time we hit stage 3, stage 4, you're gonna see Optic is gonna be kind of locked in, and they're going to be competing with Toronto for that, like, finals, like grand finals and everything. I also think Dashi is gone by the end of the year.
I could see that happening. The thing with that though is there's no one else, and that was going to be like my next point, because the top 3 teams are the top 3 teams, and I don't see anyone else getting better to the point where anyone outside of those top 3 are going to compete and win a major. I just don't see it, because there's no one out there. Like, Boston got a tiny bit better with ASIM getting on that team, but like, are they really going to take that huge leap? Like, probably not.
Speaking of that,
what's that?
Who did they drop? Who did they drop? Boston?
Cap.
And what did I say as soon as the year started? Did I not say that he was garbage?
Yeah.
We can go back and recheck it, but yeah, I said he was garbage.
Yeah.
So shout out me, Crystal Ball Doug.
I just think all these teams are just making roster changes to make roster changes, and it's not making them better. And in some cases it could, like in Miami's case, it made them kind of worse. Like, now they're starting over again with a fourth guy. And I heard, like, I was listening to the Flank, like, on my drive home in the snow, trying to keep my
trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
To stay alive.
And they made a point, and it kind of makes sense. Like, Miami's player pool to bring in another guy is extremely small.
It's very limited because they have to be able to speak fluent Spanish,
right? And Scrappy even said the same thing. He's like, listen, like, they can all like speak English, but it's not like, he was like, it's not the same when you're like calming in a game. Like, it's not gonna like, it's not fluid as if they were speaking Spanish, which is what they've been doing their entire lives. Like,
right.
And so, their player pool is much small. Like, it's
you have to find someone fluent in Spanish who can, like, obviously play the game at a high level,
right? And
also fit into because like you have so many things that kind of factor in besides just the play style, language barriers and stuff like that. You have to make sure that, again, they're a good fit for your team from a morale standpoint. They're a good fit for your team from, like, is that the type of player that you need? Like, if you need a sub, you need an AR, you need a hill guy, whatever the case may be. Like, you need to have all these different checks, like boxes you need to check. And like, so you're really just limiting yourself from like maybe like a 20% player pool down to like a 2.
Yeah.
And then maybe you find the right guy, but like maybe he's not an AR guy. Maybe he's a sub guy. You're like, well, you're going to start playing AR. And so then you're changing him. So yeah, it's really tough when you have like so many boxes you need to check for a team to make yourself successful.
Yeah. And I think if you look at Toronto, right, they made the perfect move to get Envoy. Like, that just made sense. Like, putting that guy on that team with Scrappy, with Insight, like, that's scary. But I mean, and then you look at the rest of the teams and you're like, they're just shuffling out Challengers players.
Right.
And
hoping one of them is going to work out.
Right. And it's not like, I don't know. I haven't seen that ever work so far, like, since the CDL has been a thing. Like,
where honestly, you get across a lot of different types of games too, not even just Call of Duty.
Right.
Like, it doesn't work in any other game either.
Where you get a plug and play guy that's like, okay, all of a sudden we're a competitive team now. Like, I don't know.
I used to watch League of Legends a lot, like their like NALCS and stuff like that, and you would see teams like plug in challenger players. Like, every so often you would see like some guy pop off for a week or something, but like longevity over the course of a season, like, you realize like, okay, maybe like they had a 1 week performance that was sick, or maybe 2, and then you realize over the course of like 14 weeks, you're like, okay, like this guy's like he's challenger for a reason.
Right.
So,
well, even if you look at like if you were to make a list of the top 15, 16 players in the league, 12 of them are on the top 3 teams.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you filter in like a Hydra.
Right.
What's that? The kid from Boston, the rookie who's playing pretty well.
Oh, I can't think of his name either.
Can't think of his name.
Snoopy.
But like,
Snoopy?
yeah, Snoopy. Like you can throw Snoopy in there, but like the out of the top 15 players in the league, the top 12 are on the top 3 teams, and it's not like it's not debatable.
Right, it's not close.
Like it's just not.
No,
and
I agree.
It's just how the league is right now, and I think that's part of the problem with the Call of Duty League is that they don't have like a baseball farm system of like they don't care about challengers. Like it's very clear. Like they aren't doing anything to promote that, to get tournaments out there. Now Game Battles is gone, so there's another avenue that got erased. The best route right now is kind of through Breaking Point, through that Discord that they have going on.
Yeah.
Like guys are coming through there. Shout out Zuma. Like I think that he's doing a great job with like FaZe Black, you know, having a big influence on that and like putting that team together. Same thing with like Boston Academy, but like are those guys really coming up and making an impact?
I mean,
not
so
really.
think of it this way. You just dropped Capsidal from Boston, and I mean they had a substitute player that they could have put in, but they went and got Asim anyway.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, I don't know. If you have a substitute player, would you not try to put him into the rotation?
Especially if you're paying him, right? Like he's getting paid.
Why do you
like,
have him?
He's a contracted player.
Right. Like you give this guy X amount of dollars and you're like, bah, we like you, but only sometimes. So we're just not going to put you in.
It's funny because if you look at a handful of teams, like their substitute is their coach.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure LA Thieves like substitute is their coach.
Yeah.
But like,
didn't that happen last year? Like they put the coach in. For
and he was a former pro, but he just hadn't played
in a long time.
I mean, the crowd was cheering him on, and he was like, he's low key kind of popping off in the one map, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think once they put Vista in the play pool, which is like another like kind of SMG heavy map, or I mean heavier than what we have right now with like 3 or 4 ARs on high rise. I think there's going to be a change, and I can see Optic and FaZe both benefiting from that because they arguably have better subs than Toronto does at this point. Even though Insight is having himself a fucking season, like he's doing really well up to this point. But I think, like, dude, you do not want to see Optic on Rio. Like that should be auto banned for the rest of time.
Yeah. Right.
Pred and Shotzi on that map should not like auto ban.
Speaking of former pros, though, let's talk about this lawsuit that Scump and that Optic Hex guy have going on. Because what the fuck?
I mean, where do you even start with this? So
$680 million. What the hell?
So essentially, what's happening is Hex and Scump for. I still don't understand how Scump. Anyway, I'll get hung up on that. But essentially, they are claiming that Activision is running a monopoly and basically pushing out competition in order to basically inflate their own league and hinder competition, such as like sponsorship, like players from like. You know, the example that was used was, you know, Scump streaming another game and getting fined. But so you go ahead. What's your take on it? Like, there's so much to unpack here. It's
so my thing is like you're trying to sue them for $680 million, and the entry fee per team was like $27.5 million or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like
that they didn't make them pay during COVID,
right? So I get where you're kind of getting the $680 million number from, but in what world do you think that you actually get that amount of money? Unless you just made it so astronomically high that you're like just trying to scare people, which by the way, you're not going to scare lawyers who've been doing this their whole lives. Like, you're not going to scare someone into thinking like, oh, I have a $680 million lawsuit in my hand, I might as well just settle for 200. Like, that's, you're not going to scare these people doing that. So to me, it just seems frivolous, and it's not going to end up going anywhere. And even if they do settle somehow, like if they don't, because Activision, I think, is probably taking the stance of like, yeah, you can try it. You're not going to win anything, and you're actually going to cost yourself more money. So I don't know. I think Activision just doesn't give them a dime, and this just looks like a fucking landslide against Scump and Optic Hex, whatever the hell his name is.
There's, in my opinion, one of two things is going to happen, and one has a way higher chance of happening than the other. One is that this case gets thrown out as soon as it lands on the judge's desk and he reads through this, because there's a couple things that like it's their game. like it's their intellectual property.
They can do what they want.
They can do whatever. If okay, you guys don't want to play in our league, that's fine.
That's fine. We'll find
company X is not gonna. You're not gonna play our game and profit off of it. Like, you're not. We own it.
Correct.
Like, you're not gonna stream it. You're not gonna like. Right then and there, case closed. It's their game. They own the rights to it, and they run the league. So tough shit. Like,
exactly. Like
the other stuff is kind of like yeah, you kind of have a case there. Like finding Scump for streaming another game, unless it's in the contract, which if he signed it, that's on you. Like,
if you sign it blindly without reading every fucking word, that's on you.
And like their statement was that like they weren't able to like get their, like Activision basically told them, or like the league official said that you either sign it now or you don't play this weekend. That's your fault. Like if I go to a car dealership and buy a $50,000 car that I can't afford, but my name's on the paper, I can't turn around and say, well, my lawyer didn't read it. Like, no, you signed, like you willingly signed it. Unfortunately,
that is your name on this piece of paper.
Right. Like you're not,
it's yours.
So like, shame on you for being young and naive and ignorant. Like that's because you wanted to play COD for 1 week. That's so like, there's that. And I get it. Like you're sitting in the room and you know that what you're signing is wrong, but at the end of the day, like, you're trying to get paid. You're trying to just do your job. Like I get it, but like unfortunately the law doesn't like. And hey,
the law doesn't.
All you out here, not a lawyer, not even close. So don't go there.
Me neither, brother. Me
neither. Don't even try to bring that shit over here.
That's why we just talk about our takes. This is our take on the situation. Yeah. We're not lawyers. But
don't bring that shit into my house.
If you want free legal advice, I'll give you some bad legal advice. There you go.
1-800-Lundy-Law. But, and then, so the other side of that, right? So I truly think that this probably gets thrown out. That's my immediate reaction. Two, if it somehow doesn't get thrown out and there's that period of time before like discovery and all that kind of stuff happens, I think this gets settled, because I don't think Hex is stupid. I think he has some sort of ammunition that doesn't help the lawsuit, but helps make Activision look really bad.
Yes.
And I don't think Activision wants that to come out.
So they'll settle it out of court. Nothing happens. Here's some NDAs, sign that shit.
Yep.
We'll give you $20 million.
And I think that's what they're looking for, is just because the whole thing right now is that the CDL is dead. Like, this is it. Like, this is the last year for the league. So what's going on in the background is that Hex is looking to regain some sort of financial standpoint, to kind of recoup all the money that they spent on
money
this.
That he's put into it.
So even if he gets enough to kind of feel good about that, like with the CDL being where it's at, but like in the back of my mind too, like now that I'm thinking about it, that for it to get to that point, right? Like, we're not talking. That wouldn't happen before the end of this season. right?
This is not like you're not going to have this by like the end of March,
right?
Like this is going to be something you're looking at next year. Maybe.
Which at that point doesn't really matter. I mean,
does it matter? It's like does it matter at that point once it's been so foregone and you've invested so much time into it? Because again, it's not like it's free to do this stuff. Because the person that you're paying to fight this battle for you also needs to get paid.
Right.
So like, and I'm sure if you're trying to sue somebody for $680 million, you're not walking up to some guy in some random like law office saying, "Yo, let's do this," and he's like, "Yeah, dude, fuck yeah." Like, no, you're paying a pretty substantially paid lawyer to do this for you.
Do these guys also understand that like how a franchise works?
It's not looking likely.
Because like
I think esports as a whole doesn't really get it.
But I want to think that like these guys understood what they were getting into. But like the whole like sponsorship thing, right? With I can't go and get certain sponsors. Hey guys, have you ever been to an NBA game? Their jerseys have sponsors on them.
Yeah.
If they can't just put
Coca-Cola
put on their jersey because some guy wanted to.
Pepsi and shit. Yeah, like they can't just go start advertising Pepsi either. So it's like
what?
Yeah.
No shit, you can't go get your own spot. Like, dude, you basically kind of work for like they own you at that point. Like you paid for a spot in their league. They can do whatever they want.
Yep.
Like, boo-hoo. Like, I can't go and get certain sponsors. Okay. That's because that sponsor hasn't put up money to the league.
Right.
That's like right or wrong. That's corporate America. Like that's how it works. That's how this works.
That's how this shit works.
You ever watch an NBA game? They're drinking Aquafina water. You can tell that it's an Aquafina water bottle, but they had to remove that label because guess what? They don't have a right to sponsor that team, and the league's not getting paid because that Aquafina bottle is on national television. Like that's marketing. That's how this whole thing works. That's how these guys get paid.
It's always so. Like my wife and I were talking about it one time, and we started because we watch The Big Bang Theory a lot because we've seen it 1,000 times. But like it's just something like we just throw on TV if we're bored. And she started noticing like little things like if it's an Apple computer, like it's an Apple computer, but they have like a little sticker on the Apple sign. Yep. And she's like, "Why did they do that?" I'm like, "Because Apple didn't pay them.
Because Apple didn't pay them a dime."
They're not paying Apple.
This shit ain't free.
Like, Apple's not getting any money off it, so they're like, "Fuck you, you're not using our brand in in the show."
So like that to me, I'm like, how are you guys even making that a point in this lawsuit? Like, unfortunately, that's not a monopoly. That's just smart business. Like,
correct. So like, and this is stuff that's not like, it's not hard to figure that out. Like, you and I are not rocket scientists. We're not the brightest people on this planet Earth. But like, we understand how business works. We understand how like these things happen. And like, you're not going to put your brand all over something that's going to make money if you are not getting any money from it. Right. Also, just very stupid on you to do that. Right. Like unless you're a small company who wants to get their name out there, like then yeah, I get it from that standpoint. But like at the end of the day, I want to get paid, so we do the things we do because I want to get paid.
If they wanted to do this right, just like every other franchised sport, like because this is essentially a sport, like I mean,
yeah, correct.
It's set up to be that, right? Like they should have had a players union. They should have had collective bargaining. Like there should be all this stuff.
All these checks and balances in place to, if you wanted to have the players and everyone be protected, you'd have to have these things set up in place, right? And they don't have any of that stuff. So that's why the players, the managers and all these, like they're not protected from these things that are going to happen because they didn't set it up correctly.
Yep. And listen, maybe
and that's on them.
On the back door, Activision wasn't even going to allow that to happen. Like that's a possibility. But for league owners to sit there and nonchalantly sign a $27 million contract and not know that what you were getting into in the long run, like the difference between the NBA and Call of Duty, or let's just put Activision, is that the NBA doesn't own basketball.
Right.
They can't. You couldn't even try to monopolize basketball because no one owns basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's G League, like Euro League, like there's leagues all across the world, right?
The Harlem Globetrotters League,
right,
whatever the fuck that is. I don't
right.
even know what it's called anymore. But
You
like
couldn't
that
monopolize
shit.
it. Unfortunately, in this situation, Activision owns the intellectual property that is Call of Duty, and they can do whatever the hell
They
they
can do
want.
whatever the fuck they want to do.
Whatever they want. Fine. We're going to shut down the Call of Duty League this year. Guess what? If someone doesn't pay us to promote a new league, you're not playing our game.
Yeah.
You're not playing it.
Simple as that.
Like, I don't.
Easy peasy.
So, I mean, I don't even know if you know this, or like, I was kind of thinking, like, when Game Battles and all those guys were like running that stuff, were they paying? I'm assuming they would have had to have paid Activision for the rights to stream that kind of stuff, right? Or to have the tournaments and stuff. Like,
I would assume that Activision would have got a cut of it,
right?
Like whatever.
Because again, it's their property, so that like they
correct. You're hosting $100,000 tournament. Well, we get 10%. Then the winners get whatever X amount. However you want to divvy it up,
right? Because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If like,
not.
So like I used to do when I was younger, there was like this guy ran like the projector screens, like the big blow up projector screens for like movie rentals, but he could only show films that like he had paid for, like through the copyright too. So I'm assuming it's got to be the same exact thing, right?
That's my assumption.
Okay.
I would assume it works that way.
It has to be. Because it's the same deal, right? It's a you're showing a film of something. Like it's the same thing with bars like showing UFC. Like they pay the UFC.
They pay to have the pay-per-view or whatever.
Right.
And they have to,
because they actually pay more than just the pay-per-view price. Correct. Because they're showing to more people. Yeah, okay.
Because they're paying like a so I got actually into that like the food truck stuff that I do, we do meat deliveries to a bar. And so we provide them food once a week. Our name is all over their website. Shout outs for more advertising and marketing. But like I was talking to her about like she was telling me like all these like crazy bills she has every month, and which again not my issue but your issue. And she's like, oh yeah, like if we want to show like any of that stuff, like we have to pay like a commercial licensing shit to like get it. So yeah, so that's what would be like you're paying like triple to quadruple the amount. It's like so because they can't just buy the pay-per-view and like I'll show it on this one screen. Like it's not really how that works.
Yeah,
you gotta buy it. Like if you're buying it as a business, there's always like I shouldn't say residential, but there's always like some sort of commercial aspect to every business that like you're always going to pay a commercial price if you're a business buying something that you're providing to somebody else.
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing, they could be super super petty and just be like, "Oh, we're removing ranked play."
Yeah. They can do it. They can do whatever they want.
I think this is just this is a money grab by Optic and those guys to try to get some money back before 100%. This thing blows up.
100%.
Because if you look at it right, like Nadeshot's not backing this.
No.
And he's smart. Like out of all the people in esports and stuff like that, I respect Nadeshot the most as far as like business acumen goes, and like because he seems to understand how this whole thing works.
It's gonna work out, right?
And hey, I mean they're saying, oh, we're gonna share the settlement or whatever it is at the end of this with all the leagues and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. Like I want to believe that like Hex is looking out for like esports as a whole, because I feel like it seems like he feels that he has like a moral responsibility to like keep this thing going, or that I don't know, that he started it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like he has a more at home,
a vested interest in it.
Yeah. Not just financially, but, and like me and Don were kind of having this conversation before while you were doing your thing, where he was like, yeah, it seems like out of the two of them guys, like one of them is doing it as like fighting the good fight and the other one's just trying to make a quick dollar here.
Yeah. But Scump's just trying to make that quick dollar.
I think Scump makes more money than Hex.
I
had to assume that from like how much he streams and stuff on Twitch. Like that guy's probably making more money than Hex is.
Yeah, I've never really been a big fan of Scump anyway, but
it's kind of weird how that whole thing works, right? Because like they do the watch parties and they do it on Scump's stream, but they also do it like on Methods.
Yeah.
So like how much is Optic taking out of that because they're using the brand? Like it's got to be a weird, and then you have Methods like thrown in there, which is kind of weird.
There's money flying all over the place.
The even harder one is the flank. Like those guys, there's like 7 of them at this point. Like I can't even keep track. Because you got Zuma, Octane, the other 2 dipshits that I don't even talk about, and then Benjay. Guy's a clown.
The other 2 dipshits that I don't even talk about.
Patrick Aches.
Good hate.
Guy's a moron. And then Benjay. Don't even get me started on that guy.
Good hate.
That guy, like, he just comes off as the guy that, like, I know everything. These guys talk to me. I don't know about that, Chief.
I know someone like that. Crazy that like that I know everything guy. It's really weird. I play Call of Duty with him a lot. Play Rocket League with him a lot. That's weird. He refers to himself as Timothy Turner. Who's that guy? I don't know who that guy
idea.
Is. Never met him before in my life.
Fuck that guy. Guy's an asshole.
Oh, but I love him dearly for it. So there's that.
That guy should bury himself underneath a rock or something. I don't know. Hit himself in the head with it.
Oh shit, that's aggressive. Don't do that, Tyler.
It's slightly aggressive.
Don't do that, Tyler. Oh shit. Oh, we were running a little longer today. We had a little bit of discussion going on in a couple different areas of life. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else on that lawsuit thing? Again, my final point of it
I think
is
they're done.
I think it's just stupid.
I think it's a waste of time.
I agree.
But like lawyers will just take the case if even there's like a slight chance of
a slight chance to win. They're like, if there's a slight chance of settlement,
they're getting paid no matter what. So
right, they're gonna get paid, and like it's something they can put on their like their record of like, hey, like I took on Activision and I settled and got X amount of dollars from it. Okay, so
like, dude, it's not just Activision. Activision's owned by Microsoft. You think they don't got lawyers?
I was gonna say like
that are sitting there like what? Like this is the dumbest. Like we've been sued for way worse than this and got out. Like
right. Like also we just got named a month ago as the most the highest valued company in the globe.
Like, what are you guys thinking?
And you think you're gonna take that on? Okay, good for you. Like, was it?
We literally have the best lawyers in the world, like in the world, writing up. Like, dude, they were. I mean, don't get me wrong. Microsoft wasn't in when Activision was like putting these contracts together, but Activision Blizzard was still a phenomenal money making machine
brand at that point,
right? Like, don't get me wrong. People love and hate Call of Duty, but they still buy the game and they still make a shit ton of money. So the money's still there. And you can't tell me that when they were forming this league, that they didn't go through this with a fine tooth comb, whatever the fuck that statement is.
I wasn't going to correct you, but I'm glad you corrected yourself.
But you can't tell me that they didn't sit there and know what they were putting on this contracts. Like,
right.
Dude, this was ironclad from the start. Like
the money to pay the lawyers for Microsoft, like the CEO just pisses for 30 seconds. He's like, "Oh, there you go.
There it is.
Here's your money." He's like, "There it is. We made the money to pay the lawyers this year." Like,
but we'll see where it goes. I don't think it's. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a while before you hear anything
before we
else,
have any sort of like update to it. It's gonna be a while. So
yeah.
Our thoughts. Those are our thoughts on it.
Until then.
All right.
Are we doing a power rankings this week?
Yeah, we can.
We should drop 2 episodes. We're not going to do it today.
Yeah, we could do it tomorrow.
We'll do a power rank. Yeah, we'll do it like after Thursday or something. Because I think I have a game.
Oh, I think most of the games we played by then, so we can actually do a legitimate power ranking by then.
So be on the lookout for that. And if you made it to the end of this, 99% of you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel. Do that shit, bitch. Like it.
Sorry. I just got really aggressive though. I didn't mean to.
Hit the like button. Subscribe.
Look for the little bell. Hit the little bell.
It's free.
We're putting out free content for the masses.
For the masses, like I said,
unless you want to sponsor us. Unless you want to sponsor us, then we're open to offers. Starry, shout out Starry. Come on, hit me with a sponsorship email. I got on pouches all over my desk right now. We would
love to be sponsored by On. We could put the logo right down at the bottom there.
Dude, I'll make a little on wall right here. Like right here. I'll cover up Meet Corgan Baker Mayfield. I don't want to, but I will. But I will make a little on wall to advertise your brand.
We're here for it.
All right, everybody. Everybody stay safe out there and have a good evening. And Tyler, we should go play Call of Duty.
Call of Duty it is. Let's go tank some SR.
Let's go, baby.
Later on, everyone.
Later.